Yeah, some interesting ones, difficult ones.
Celtic obviously have been drawn against Kairat Almaty or Slovan Bratislava, who they faced last season. If you were a Celtic fan, look, no game's going to be easy, but you could almost handpick that.
Well, look, the Slovan Bratislava was almost a handpick in the group stages or the league stages last season. Perfect in terms of setting Celtic up to get some points on the board and getting a roll. If it's Bratislava, Celtic can be really confident. And it would also help in terms of just the logistics because I don't think that you want to be travelling to Kazakhstan. You know, I think that second leg is away from home and the first Old Firm derby of the season is just a couple of days after it. So that would be far from ideal. I think Celtic will be keeping their fingers crossed for a number of reasons that Slovan Bratislava get through that tie.
I did that journey twice, Keith. Twice. Once
in luxury, Swanee.
Celtic played Shakhtar Karagandhi under Neil Lennon, and then the first time they played Astana under Brendan Rodgers. It is quite the hike, and it's quite a journey to undertake before a Celtic Rangers game on the Sunday. So yeah, I would agree with that completely. That Slovan Bratislava will probably be the slightly tougher in terms of opposition, you would guess.
But did you not fly there in some style, though, Swanee?
Sorry?
Did you not travel there in some style?
There was a great story that it was the plane U2's plane or something like that. It was a bizarre one. That was really odd, yeah. Or somebody famous, Madonna or something. I don't know. Celtic had the flight anyway. It was great.
Rangers got a much less favourable draw. If they get past Victoria Pilsen, they play first leg tomorrow night, they'll come up against either Club Brugge or Salzburg. That's a really tough draw, Keith.
That's a stinker for Rangers. But we have said, and I know that Rangers will look at this differently. I know that Andrew Kavanagh will be looking at access to the Champions League and the untold riches that comes with that. But in purely football terms, I think it wouldn't be a disaster for Rangers to be playing Europa League this season. And they've secured that already by taking care of business against Panathinaikos. Look, you're never going to turn your nose up at the amount of money that you can earn in the Champions League. Just in terms of being competitive on the pitch, I think one step at a time. I don't think a campaign of Europa League football would be necessarily a bad thing for Rangers this season.
William makes a good point in the comment section. He says, don't teams have the option to cancel a league fixture if affected by a Euro tie? I mean, in theory, could Celtic go, listen, we've got this crucial Champions League tie in Kazakhstan. Can we put off the Old Firm game? No.
I don't think that'll be happening, Daniel.
Yeah. Games at Ibrox, it's live on Sky. Yeah, that's great. That's great.
I mean, I knew as I was saying it was an ambitious shout, but I just wondered what the rules were.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the look of Neil Doncaster's face when somebody suggests it.
Yeah, I mean, I think even the prospect of getting a domestic game cancelled prior to a European tie is hard enough. Never mind getting one cancelled after it.
The other European draws today, Dundee United obviously involved. They're obviously playing Rapid Vienna. If they get by them, they'll face one of AEK Stockholm or FC Győr of Hungary. And the other one, of course, actually, I was going to say Hibs, but Aberdeen could face Steaua Bucharest in their playoff for the Europa League. And Hibs are being drawn against, if I can find it, they will play, if they get by, FK Partizan, AEK Larnaca or Legia Warsaw. So, I mean, really, really tricky. We want 4 teams in the group stages, but it's going to be really hard.
It's been notoriously tough for the teams outside Glasgow to try and get through the final, the kind of playoff tie. We've seen it all the way through. Ryan Stevenson was talking earlier about Derek McInnes' successes at Aberdeen, and that was just always unable to get through. Now, thankfully, the clubs, there is a parachute. Aberdeen, for example, if they don't get through, will get the group stages in the Conference League with the additional competition. But I'm struggling. I think I'm right in saying no one's got through the playoff in their respective competition since they came in. Is that right?
I think you're right, yeah. I think you're right.
The group stages have come in the Conference League from parachuting down, from failing to make it through the Europa League play. It's just difficult. Scottish teams don't get seeded. you're always you need a bit, a bingo tie, a real two-legged masterclass and just to try and get through it, to break the mold or to break the cycle, to try and then get the coefficient up, and to get a result like that is very, very difficult. I mean, you look at it and you say, well, could Hibs beat Larnaca? Yes, but are they going to get to play Larnaca? Probably not. It's probably going to be close on it. So it's just tough. It's just tough. It's tough for them. Listen, fingers crossed for them all. It would be fantastic. I think Dundee United would obviously rate, without being disrespectful, they're going to be the longest shot in the three outside the Glasgow team, surely.
Yeah.
Because they've got Rapid Vienna on this round.
Yeah. I just mean all the way through. Yeah, you know, for them to even get beyond this time is going to be very, very difficult. So they're the obvious long shot. Aberdeen have only got one double header to get through, but that's going to be tough, as I say. Likely to be Romania, you would have thought.
Not impossible for Aberdeen, that one, Swanee.
Not impossible. Not impossible.
That's actually the type of game that you're thinking, roundabout right. Some of our teams should be able to trade blows against clubs of that level and that size without, just rolling over and get our belly tickled all the time. And I think Aberdeen, they're an improving team. Certainly, we saw signs of that last season. They're fairly competent. I don't think that should be necessarily beyond Aberdeen to think they've got a realistic opportunity there.
To be honest, Keith, do you know what it is? It's just a recency scarring that causes that kind of.
Yeah, I know.
You saw the result. I mean, who was it? Hearts last year, Petro Cub.
I know.
You just win that game and you're through and can't do it. Aberdeen had a fantastic first leg. I think was it. Please forgive me if I've got this wrong. Was it Elfsborg, Swedish team? Terrific first leg result. Then done at Pittodrie. Even Hibs last week.
Yeah.
Terrific performance in Denmark. They're in there. You think, yes, got them back to Easter Road, great. And then something just transpires. Somebody decides to score a once-in-a-lifetime bicycle kick to knock them out. You just think, it's just Scottish football. Please, can we not just get a break? So fingers crossed, one or even two of these clubs can go and do it. That would be fantastic.
We need all the help we can get with the coefficients, Swanee, that's for sure. So, there is an onus on these clubs. These are big clubs in Scottish terms. We need them to be bigger in European terms as well. And, as I said, it really is about time that these clubs started landing a few blows in Europe. So, fingers crossed.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see in the comments there, Sing the Blues says we are nowhere near ready for Champions League. Europa League will do me. Obviously, that's in referring to Rangers. John points out Celtic are weaker than last season when they beat Slovan Bratislava. Since then, they've got no Kyogo and no Kuhn for a start, which is
a fair point.
A very fair
point. Yeah.
But there is still 4 weeks of the transfer window.
That's very true.
Still in play.
But only 2 weeks before that, Ty, Keith.
2 weeks before the squad gets submitted, Swanee. So you're right. And it's impossible to discuss Celtic right now without, that it's not even the elephant in the room anymore. We know that they're weaker. And they've got a manager here who I think is trying pretty hard to kind of maintain his composure and stay cool. But with each passing day, the need and the urgency for Celtic to deliver the kind of quality that he's demanding from the board, it becomes more urgent and more pressing. So, yeah, absolutely. That's a really big point, Swanee. They've got 2 weeks left to satisfy the ambitions of the manager. And if they don't do that and they leave him going into a gunfight holding a water pistol, then I think there'll be inevitable consequences.